Welcome back, Tribe. I have another one here called Are Filipinos Just Not Interested in Foreigners Anymore by Geo in the Philippines, recommended by somebody over on Discord.
All right, guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about are guys coming out to the Philippines being disappointed by the dating and the scene with the single Filipinas. I've been here now over 7 years. First time out here in 2015. Now, let me set the scene in 2015 when I came out here. I came out here and I went to Davao. So automatically we're talking about 8 years ago. So different scenario, different times, different reactions with Filipinas, not so many foreigners. And I also went to Davao, which even today does not have a lot of foreigners. So I went out there. I went out there specifically to meet a girl, and it didn't work out, but she was a nice girl. It just, the chemistry wasn't.
I just want to say pause. I don't know if he's in a commune, like a public space. I see pool rules here, but look at where the dude's living and shooting his video. And I guarantee if he told you, and he probably does on his channel, how much it costs to live where he lives, your head would explode.
There, but we had a good time. We hung out and went to waterfalls and went sightseeing and all of that. I can give you some firsthand experience walking in the malls back in 2015 in Davao. And again, I'm nothing extraordinary. I'm just an average looking dude. And walking in the malls, I remember girls giggling and heads turning, and I really felt like a superstar. And if somebody would have asked me at that time, hey, what do you think of the Philippines? Are really the girls crazy for you over there? Like I've heard stories. I would have said, yes, go to the Philippines. It's unlike anything you've seen in your life or experienced. Another thing that happened is I was walking with the girl in the mall, and a group of good-looking girls, they stopped her and they started speaking Visayan. And then as we walked away, I said, what were they asking? And they said, where can we find a guy like him? Like, how did you find him? And I think she told them, well, I found him online. So that's kind of the way it was back in 2015. Now, you flash forward to today, and I talk to guys, especially the guys, this is the one thing I want to make clear, especially the guys that come out to places like Cebu, Manila, Angeles, Dumaguete. And I talk to them, and they say, you know what, I haven't been doing good at all. I really haven't met anyone. And it's just, it's been kind of a big disappointment. Girls, really, it doesn't seem like any different than back home. They really haven't paid me any attention. And I've tried to meet them in person, and they just don't seem interested. Well, first off, it is.
A guy in the comments in the video from yesterday about the Philippines said, if you're not getting attention in the Philippines, it's a you problem, not a Philippines problem. If you go overseas to whatever country you go to and you're the exotic one and you're still not able to get what they used to call choosing signals, if no women are looking at you and paying any attention to you, that's a you problem. You can't blame the West anymore. You can't say there's something wrong with the dating pool here. No, bro, you went to a place where you're not common and still you get no attention. We have to do this thing called accountability. You can't be delusional like the chicks, saying we're all the good men at a certain point. You need to accept that, all right, there's something wrong with me now because I'm traveling the world and still nobody wants to be with me. Ask yourself, have you put in the work? Have you done the self-improvement? This dude's been there for 7 years. Like he said, an average looking dude, but I already can tell he just keeps up with his body. He's in shape, does what he needs to do. Probably when he landed 7 years ago or however long it's been, dude was not bad at all looking when he took his shirt off and put in the work required to actually be sought after. A lot of dudes, I've seen it, man, on the TikToks, I've seen it on the shorts that go overseas now are like corn-toed, legitimate, dusty, broke, trying to get by on $1,000 a month. Don't spend any more money, less than 1,000. Like they're trying to live it up. Like when I say 1,000, they want to live it up and party and be surrounded by women on 1,000 a month, bro. Really? Okay. And you got a beer belly. You're looking like a pig ready for slaughter. The dude can't connect his beard. He's got corn toe feet. Breath stinking, crust all over his lips, talking about, why ain't I getting choosing signals in the Philippines? These women out here are just as messed up as the ones in the West, with his crust and shit all on his lips. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The fact of the matter is, if you put in the bare minimum work, you're already above 80% of men. That's what a clown show masculinity has become. And once you put in the bare minimum work and make yourself attractive at a base level, like he's clean, he earns good money, he's obviously exotic, his skin is clear, his beard is maintained as well as his haircut. He dresses decently. You don't have to be a fashion model on a Paris runway, but you do the bare minimum there and you stick out like a sore thumb and you will be sought after. Guys are trying to get by with doing nothing or very little whatsoever. You want the plane ticket. You want the passport to be a magic pill, dude. The magic bullet that saves you from yourself. This is the guys that are going overseas now because it's the laziest ones that want the easiest outcomes. Unfortunately, that's not the way the world works. Just because you go overseas, let me tell you, women are still women. It is true that you're going to go overseas and you're going to meet absolute smoke shows, absolutely beautiful girls, incredible feminine personalities. They are completely different and much better than the ones in the West. This is true. However, they still have standards. They're not just going to ignore all your shortcomings. They're not going to ignore your fat folds and your crusty ass lips and your nasty ass feet. They're people. They just don't place much importance in the materialistic side of things, in the status side of things, and they have a more holistic approach to a man. Does he have a good personality? Will he be a good father to my kids? Is he close with his family? But that's underpinned on you cannot negotiate attraction. You need a baseline for your pyramid, and then the rest builds up. If you have a shaky foundation, man, you don't even do the bare minimum of your hygiene, you're not going to be a good father. You're not going to be a good provider. You can't protect her. You have a pot belly. You can't fight. You can't even run up a stairwell without absolutely wheezing and sorry, baby. How many more stairs we got left? Like, you're pathetic. You're a pathetic excuse for a male, and you want your genes passed down to somebody else? You think a woman's going to look at you and have any sort of confidence in your ability to lead the family, to be the captain of the ship? Who are you bullshitting here, my friend? We have to hold ourselves accountable as men. There is a bare minimum that you must achieve in order to be a man and the head of the household. Until then, you need to put in the work because you do not deserve anything in this world. Nothing is handed to you as a man. It is earned. You must earn your title as head of the household. You must earn her attraction through the self-work that you put in. All of this is earned. It's not handed to us. We didn't get lucky and get to just choose from the winners at the end of the finish line. You have to run the race. This is what it is to be a man, to be in competition. Now, you want that easy magic bullet, dude? Get yourself a passport and a plane ticket to somewhere magical where nothing but unicorns exist. And wow, dude, you're going to have 5, 6 women on you. And everywhere you look, people are going to want to take pictures because, wow, big famous American man has stepped off the plane with this fat wallet compared to these people making pennies or whatever, like concoction you have in your head of what's going to happen when you go overseas. You're going to be sorely disappointed. These people earn enough money. These people speak multiple languages. These people have jobs, close-knit families. They actually probably on what we consider living life in the richest of life have more than you coming over there. All you bring to the table for the most part is a little bit of exoticism and money. Financial situation improves dramatically because the power of the dollar is like 10x. But they beat you in the richness of life, deep relationships, extended families, so on and so forth. That's the reality, man. Step it up, boys. Don't be one of these real dusties that really give ammunition to the other side to talk all the shit they want. And just ask yourself, are you somebody you'd want your future son to look up to? If your future son could see you right now and just look at you to judge you on the man you are you happy with that? Ask yourself.
It's not like it used to be back when I first got here. Back when I first got here, even Dumageddon probably. But you flash forward to today, and there are just so many foreigners, and I think they are just so used to seeing us now that Dumageddon really, in places even like Cebu and Manila, are not that great. Now, if you want to get online and you want to see where you get the most hits, it's still going to come up as places like Cebu and Manila just because of population-wise. But what also happens here, like in Dumageddon, for example, is there is a subset of girls that are looking for foreigners that are just, they want a foreigner. Maybe that's just what they're really attracted to. Maybe they've had a foreigner before and their lifestyle was elevated and they don't want to go back down to maybe dating a Filipino, only want to date a foreigner. And you get this rotation of girls that are dating foreigners, foreigners that are dating these girls, and you'll get guys saying, oh yeah, that's my ex-girlfriend. And the guy's like, oh, well,
Oof.
she's my girlfriend now.
Bro, can you imagine getting a ran through trick, a ran through chick going overseas? You finally nabbed yourself one of these white huntresses, whatever you call them, black huntresses, whatever their type is for the Westerners going over there. And the dude you're chilling with that you met, that's another Pazzo bro or expat, goes, oh yeah, bro, we were dating for a couple months. That one's tight. She's fun. Oh, wow. And you're the bozo that fell in love. And you're over here like, I met my perfect unicorn. We're going to get married one day. She's so sweet. She cooked for me. Bro. Blah, 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 with the other dude and all the other boys that just got off the airplane. That's wild. Why would you ever want a chick that's just hunting foreigners? Does that sound like a good partner for you? Bro, if you're trying to have fun, yeah, that's the place to be. You're trying to meet a woman to start a family with? Absolutely. You need to be avoiding these chicks.
And that happens a lot, like in Cebu and Dumaguete. And it can actually cause some kind of a rift sometimes, because you'll get guys who are arguing over this, or maybe a Filipina's upset over something. So yeah, that
Guys
happens
arguing,
in some of these
soy
cities
boys.
like this as well. Again, if you flash forward to just going out to try to meet the girls at the mall.
Nothing like a cubicle Carl fighting over his little piece of the pie with another cubicle Carl, you know? Outcome independent, 0. Moving on from a loose chick, not at all, bro. Got to fight to the death for my scraps. Ridiculous. Don't ever get into altercation with another man over a female. Do better.
Malls and stuff. These girls, back in the day, you could probably go to a Yalla mall. I mean, I did. You meet a girl working at a department store. But you flash forward to today, and these girls are just getting hit on left and right, left and right. And so the boots on the ground, yes, it is a good thing, but I don't think it's that good in the bigger cities and stuff anymore. Not like it used to be. It's almost better to get out into the province and the lesser known traveled islands. Most guys, when they come, they land in Manila, and boom, they're around doing stuff in Manila. They land in Cebu, and there they are. That's where they stay, and every guy stays in the same place. They stay in Cebu Business Park, IT Park, Mactan, Newtown, Manila. They're in BGC, and they're in Makati. So they come to all the same areas, all the guys, same place, and they go out to the malls because that's just the place to go. And they hit on the girls that have already been hit on so many times. And either they're just not interested in foreigners, or they're just kind of tired of it, or maybe they even have a Filipino boyfriend. So now my opinion is that if you go to the lesser traveled islands, you make that extra trip over to Leyte, Samar, Mindanao, you are going to have a totally different experience than what you have here. Because again, I've talked to so many foreigners as of late that are just very disappointed in, what is available, and not even finding any hits, and being ghosted. A lot of guys tell me, yeah, I was chatting with this girl. She's really pretty. And, we've been chatting for a couple weeks, and we're supposed to meet, and boom, just disappeared, ghosted me. So that happens as well. So guys, if you really want to try to have that experience, that wow, look at these girls looking, and wow, I just approach them and give them a big smile and talk to them, and they're very friendly and easygoing and approachable. Get out to the province, get out to the local markets, they have these little things called mercados where they have all these eateries set up. Go out to those places. Go to the places where all the foreigners are not. You kind of have to step out of your comfort zone to go to these.
Be real. You got to compete. The guys that don't want to compete have to step further and further out to get that exotic effect hitting harder and harder. The fact of the matter is, you did everything you're supposed to. You'll do great no matter where you go. Now, you have to understand we're in a globalized market, my friend, not just economically, but dating wise is now a global market, which means you compete globally with all men, which means even when you go to these places, your competition is no longer just the locals and you stand out like a sore thumb. It's you, the locals, the other boys that are doing the same thing you're doing, and then the dating profiles where they're trying to meet christianfilipinos.com or meet blah, 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 whatever it is, the matchmaking services. You know what I mean? They're everywhere. Everybody's using them. So your competition is global, therefore raised. This ain't the 90s anymore. The dudes that were doing this, the real expats, the military bros stationed overseas, they'll tell you they're in the comment sections, been married for 20 years, 30 years. My life is perfect, incredible, yada, yada, yada. They had the golden era. That's when the power of the dollar and the comparison of living in the United States, just earning power as well, but quality of life versus the rest of the world 30, 40 years ago is incomprehensible to most people watching this shit on the younger scale. You have no idea how shitty life was outside the United States in like the 70s, 80s, 90s. Like 1990s, like first of all, Eastern Europe, where you used to get bombshell supermodels that were milking cows. That time has passed. That was like post-communism. That's when the Iron Curtain fell. And you can get incredible, feminine, beautiful women that would absolutely make the hot chicks in the United States look absolutely average. That time has passed. Now that time is passing as we're seeing it in Southeast Asia, where 10, 15 years ago, you used to go there and it was absolutely incredible. And again, we have globalized. The rest of the world has caught up to the United States. It's no longer a dream to live in America. With a little bit of money, you can live just as good, if not better, than in the United States. Hence why the financial pool is so strong for people to go overseas now. The new American dream, as I've seen it go viral a bunch of times, is leaving the United States. There's no point to stay. There's nothing you can't have. In the rest of the world, you go into these big cities, you go in Bangkok and all these other capital cities of these Southeast Asian countries, here in Bucharest where I am, all over the capitals in Eastern Europe, quality of life oftentimes will exceed what you can get in the United States by a multitude with the same amount of money you earn there. Just an example for you guys, my parents have now purchased a top floor apartment with 2 beds, 2 baths, fully furnished, absolute luxury interior, 2 steps from the beach. They go out on their balcony and they're looking at the Black Sea. You know how much they paid? 100,000 euros. You know how much that apartment would go for in the United States? $500,000 at least. That's how crazy it is. They have a paid off car here, paid off house, and they walk on the beach. What does that cost to do the same thing in Florida? And not a shitty little studio. It's very spacious. And that's considered in the more expensive part of town, in a more expensive part of Eastern Europe. Imagine what you can get in Southeast Asia. There are plenty of people living extremely well and have absolutely no reason to go to the United States, including the women you get overseas. They absolutely, quite a bit of dudes will tell you that a majority of the women don't want to go overseas to the United States. That whole dream of getting an American citizenship it's kind of sailing, dude. Why do you need to go to America when you can be in a European Union country and just travel all over the European Union? You could settle anywhere in the European Union. Why not go to Southeast Asia where the cost of living is so incredible and the infrastructure is amazing in the capital? You have access to the same things, 5-star restaurants, exotic locales, coconut trees, palm trees, beautiful beaches with crystal clear water, places people from all over the world travel to go on vacation. You live there for cheap. Imagine. That's the power of going overseas. America has lost her allure. Everybody who lives in America will tell you Hollywood isn't what normal America looks like. The idea that Hollywood was the norm, the middle class America, the nice big house, the dog, the cars, the wife and the 2 kids, that's gone, dude. That's a Hollywood fairy tale. An average American will tell you just how mediocre life in America is for the, quote, middle class and lower class that has disappeared. And then they want us to get married. They want us to provide for a family. On what income? With what kind of inflation? With what kind of housing prices? Come on, man. Every man dreams of having a family. Every man dreams of being married to a beautiful woman that will love and appreciate him. He wants to come home to his beautiful kids, happy, bellies full, food on the table, smelling delicious in the air, freshly cooked food. To be able to go sit down with a drink in his hand in the backyard and watch his kids play around with this big ass dog in his fresh, perfectly manicured grass with some fruit trees in the back. And that's life, dude. And that's good. And that's great. And that used to be normal. Now it's a dream unless you leave. That's the difference. Men are still going after their dreams. Unfortunately, it just has to be overseas, away from the West, because the economic situation is so messed up. That's what we're going overseas for, dude. We're still after the dream. We're still after families. Everything that we've always wanted, that what we've seen our parents have. Except it always ends in flames in the West, or never even gets started whatsoever because you can't feed more than yourself, can't afford a house, can't afford a woman and kids. Women don't even want kids anymore. Women think being married is somehow a chore and slavery, and we've completely messed up the gender dynamics of what men provide and what women provide, and everybody's the same, and yada, 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 the tribalization and radicalization, and it goes on and on and on, and people go, man, I'm sick of this shit. I'm leaving. I don't want to deal with the politics of this country anymore. These people that get voted in don't represent me. My tax money goes in. I never see it come back to me in any way. There's potholes on the street. Infinite amount of money gets printed and sent overseas for God knows what, where people are making billions. I don't make a profit. I just get taxed harder and harder. My life's getting harder and harder. My neighborhoods are crumbling and falling apart. My neighbor hates me. I hate my neighbor. Women don't like me. Men don't like me. We don't like each other. We're further being divided into little boxes. I'm getting away from this mad shit, and I'm going somewhere peaceful, where the wind is blowing through the palm trees, where the waves are hitting the sand, where I can have a nice coconut in my hand, where I can sit down on my ass, and my dollar goes the farthest. And I don't have to worry about any of this bullshit in the world that's going on. And that's what we all want. And that's why this is going to keep exploding and growing. As men find more and more ways to get out, they will. It's just they haven't seen the promised land yet of what real freedom looks like. Everybody's caught up on women right now. The whole passport bro thing is underpinned on women. Let's be honest. It's women, women, women. Most dudes are motivated by women. Once guys really get motivated by money, by finances, by financial freedom, that's when this thing is going to explode. So keep grinding, boys. I'm always going to push the message. Do everything in your power to escape the rat race. Be the best version of yourself. It has to be repeated over and over. You can escape. You do have the ability. Take some time to figure out the solution to your problem. There is one. Don't be distracted by this too much. Don't be distracted even by videos like this too much. All the time that you waste at work, make the best of it. When you come home and have free time on your hands, work on your body. Work on your mind, teach yourself something, research online, Google things, figure out a way out. There is. You're just being blindfolded by all modernity's attention grabbers and dopamine hits and whatever else, notifications that go off and never allow you to find time for your solution. Anyways, we could be rambling on nonstop. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Appreciate any episode submissions you guys send. I do check them all. We'll see you on the next one.